You're watching PEGRI TV, Rhode Island's public access channel.
Salam. My name is Sheikh Abu Abdullah, President Chairman of Al-Masjid Sharia Allah, a non-profit religious organization operating in the state of Rhode Island, USA. AMSA. I want to begin this with something that Allah says in Quran. He says, when desires enter the hearts of believers, so does the devil, Shaitan. Now, I know a lot of you heard that and whatnot. Do you actually know what it means? Do you actually understand what he's saying? What Allah said to the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ to give to us? Well, let's see if we can break it down a little bit. Let's break it down in a way we can understand it. People that's not trying to make something mystic. Just trying to accept something the way it is. Not make it a hidden story behind there's a rock over there and make it a big story of the rock being over there. And making a story that doesn't really go along with the rock being over there. And you have to be a mystic to understand what they're talking about. Well, the law says, the desires of the hearts of the Muslim, all the believers, and the believers, because they're two different people. They really are two different people. But let's begin. Let's take, for instance, when we try and desire our own thing. And we're going to say what we want to do. Well, I want to be a carpenter. That's what I want to be, a carpenter. But how can I be a carpenter when I'm a servant of this farmer? Big farm, big, gigantic farm. Not as big as the world. And I'm his servant, his slave. I have no rights whatsoever except the rights he gives me or take away. So when I say I want to be a farmer, I don't have the right to just go out there and try to be this farmer, or a carpenter, or a bookkeeper, or a lawyer, or a justice of the peace, or electrician, or pilot. Because I belong to the slave master. So when I say I want to be a farmer and desire to be a farmer, and I go out there trying to do this thing to be a farmer, at the same time being a slave, a servant of the law, a slave. How do I do this? How do I just go out and become a farmer and do what I want to do, say what I want to say, go to any school I want to go to, work when I want to work, quit when I want to quit, without when the farm master of the farm is saying, you belong to me, Here's your mark. Here's your address. Here's what you must do from 9 to 5, and from 5 to 9, and from 9 to 5 again. Because you're my slave. And you go ahead and do this thing, you do what you want to do. And you disrespect him, and you try, and you just walk away from doing what you're supposed to be doing, and give him what you want to give him. Some prayers, some make-believe fasting, the statements that you believe in him and his messengers, and that you're going to pay 2.5% of the money you earn to zakat. And you believe in the last day and day of judgment. You believe in the angels and the books that he wrote, and the messengers before him, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And that's where you do it. What do you think that would be? What do you really think that is? Well, I'll tell you what that is. That's what Allah meant when he said, when believers desires into the hearts of the believers, so does the devil. Because now you're doing things on your own because you want to do them. Not because Allah says to do them. Remember now, you signed yourself over to Allah. I have bought from you this life for a promise of the hereafter. So your payment and what you're supposed to do in this life is supposed to be a slave to him, Allah. A servant to him, Allah. A doer of his work, Allah. Nothing else, nothing more. Produce a family of Muslims. They're mu'min. This is what you're supposed to be doing. But instead, you go to a job and you're working for somebody in a factory making narcotics. Guns. Overcharging people. Making birth control stuff. Making illegal movies. Growing marijuana. Selling pork and pigs and all that kind of stuff in the store. Food mixed with all this stuff in it. And you working there packing it, shipping it, moving it, feeding it to people, and all that. And after 5 o'clock when the whistle blow, you go down to a school where you want to be a doctor, a lawyer, carpenter, shoemaker, mechanic, engineer. Why? Oh, my father was an engineer. My grandfather was a mechanic. They told me, you got to be a doctor or a mechanic or something like that. You got to be a doctor, professional trade. You have a PhD. And the time you're supposed to be doing the laws thing, you're giving all that time to all this evil. That's part of your worship in this country, this world. It's called shirk. You're putting something else equal to a law. Some other way of life equal to a law. So our biggest enemy is ourselves. That's when it desires into the hearts of the believer. So does the devil. Well, I wanted you to hear that. Because that's what we're doing every day. Day in and day out. Many of us, not all of us, but many of us. We're doing it all day long. And then somebody tries to tell us what we're doing, we look at them as if they're the bad guys. Or we turn around and say, well, we have to eat. We have to pay rent. We have to buy food. We have to buy clothes. In this country here, the United States of America, one man can average hundreds of dollars a day just picking up garbage. That's right. In this country here, the United States of America, I've seen bums, alcoholic bums, in New York, picking up cans in New York, picking up plastic, picking up paper boxes, averaging a bad day, averaging $100. That's 5 days a week or 6 days a week. I'd say 6 days a week because the places to sell them is closed on Sunday. But I'd say 6 days a week, you can average $100 a day. That's $600 a week. $600 a week. On a 4-week month, that's $2,400. On a 5-week month, that's $3,000. $3,000. And he's his own boss. And in some cities, like New York, Chicago, those places, you can use the city water supply, a pump. They hook up a pump for you to wash them off and clean them up, clean the cans, all that kind of stuff. and you paying no taxes on that money. That's right. Look what you're doing. You don't have to work on a job that's doing something illegal to your illegal in your way of life. I see brothers working in restaurants, washing dishes, carrying pork chops, handing pork to people. Big restaurants cooking nothing but junk garbage. And feel good about it. And look at the guy that's picking up the tin cans as the bad guy. And he's supposed to be an Orthodox Muslim. And he's picking up garbage. And he's handling garbage. He's handling what he's forbidden to touch, forbidden to be around, but yet he's washing the dishes. He's dumping the garbage out. He's working in restaurants, busboy, all these different kind of guys, making $45 a day, $50 a day, $60 a day. And he's working for somebody every day. That making profit off of stuff like pigs and all that. So I just want you to hear that. I want you to hear that, what I'm trying to get you out of. I had a woman call me up one day and told me, said, Sheikh Abdullah. I said, yes. She said, I like your show. I look at it every day. Every time it come on, I look at it. But I felt very hurt and bad the other day when I looked at your show, and your show was about, we got to get our own. We got to do this. We got to get our stuff. We got to get our own schools, our own hospitals, our own this and on that. And you sound like you're trying to separate from us. I said, no, not that I'm doing that. I'm trying to get the people to understand that they got their own. Develop their own this and their own that. We're losing our kids to everybody else's world. And we got none of them coming into our world. She said, oh, I understand what you're saying now. I said, yes, I hope you do. Because you got your thing. The Catholics got their hospitals. The Jews got their places. Why can't the Muslims have theirs? The Protestants got theirs. The Italians got theirs. The Spanish got theirs. Why can't the Muslim have his? Why the Muslim got to be, every time you say something, it's got to be, we people. So she understood where I was coming from. And she called me up and asked me about it. She said, may God bless you. Well, I didn't go into that part about it. But she said, may God bless you. I didn't want to go into what his son or himself, who you want to bless me, or his mama. I didn't go into that. I left that alone. But I'm trying to tell you something. You Muslims, I'm trying to tell you something. You have to go ahead and get your own this and your own that. And you got these places here, you got a masjid here, and a masjid there, and a masjid here, and a masjid there. And everything you do for this masjid got to come out of, you got to beg for it. You got to ask for charity. You got to take a couple around for everything you did. Yeah. The masjid should be independent and should be helping the people. You can't help the people if all you doing is turning around and begging for everything you get. So I'm saying to you, the masjid must have its own industrials, its own independent good businesses, its own shoe factories. It must invest in its own way of life. I say this all the time. I tell people, I said, here's France. The Muslim people over in Kuwait, Abu Dhabi, United Arab Emirates, Saudi Arabia, Oman, all these different Muslim countries spend billions of dollars in the United Kingdom, France, Germany, billions of dollars. And they got Muslims over there unemployed, can't get a job. People tell them they don't want them to wear their headpieces. They don't want them veiled. They don't want to do this. They don't want to do that. They don't want to do this. And you're spending billions of dollars in a country that's trying to kill your people, trying to destroy Islam. And you're spending billions of dollars. I don't understand that. People trying to take away your religion, and you paying them to do it. You're actually paying them to destroy your way of life. You're lending them thousands of dollars, millions of dollars. You spend millions of dollars buying ammunition and guns from them. I mean, seriously, look at it. Look at what I'm saying. And the so-called people you spend that money with is trying to tear down your way of life and make it something else other than what it is. They want to turn around and destroy Islam and take the teeth out of it, take the laws out of it, and make it something other than what it is. And you're not demanding that they change anything with your money. The unemployment level in a lot of countries around the world is 7 and 8%, 9%, 10%. The people of the country is 7%. The people that's Arab, Turkish, in their countries, the people from Saudi Arabia, the people from Turkey, the people from Kuwait, the people from Morocco, are 20 to 25% of the unemployment people in those countries. Their unemployment is 25 and 50%. That's a shame. They got them living in these rat trap projects, and they're trying to make a kingdom out of the projects they live in. And they're 25% of the unemployed. And they don't want them wearing their headpieces. They don't want them veiled. They don't want Islam to be there. They don't want the Sharia. Look at what's happening. And you still spend this big money in these countries. Look what's happening. I'm serious. Look what's happening. Look at what's happening. I wrote to the President of the United States. And I told him, I said, you said you're not against Islam. And you're only going to speak to moderates. That's against Islam. And it's getting worse. It's getting worse. It's really getting worse. So people, brothers and sisters, I hope you pay me some mind. I hope you recognize what I'm saying to you. I hope you do. Because if you don't, you're gonna lose. It's time for you to turn around and get your act together and start obeying what the law says to do. Start doing your work as Muslims, Mu'min, Mujahideen. Mujahideen is those that are striving in Allah's name. And it's not a bad guy.